Hello, my fellow friends. So today I'm gonna describe what is Spring MVC. So Spring MVC is a framework for developing rapid web applications. Okay. So what does MVC stand for? M for model, V for view, C for controller. So before that, let's explain what is the need of web application, how the web application works. So basically, a web application is kind of two-tier and three-tier. Let's say you have using Google, right? You need to enter Google in the address. So that request is sent to Google server, and from the Google server, it is process your request. Then it will respond back to browser where you can see the search result. Let's say in Google, I found a top IT companies in India. So that is my request, and this query state is passed to Google server, and it will process that query state and return back the result. We can see the result in form of UI, right? So yeah, similarly for that kind of application like enterprise server-based web application, we use variety of framework like Start, Spring, right? And we have J, uh, and here we are using Spring MVC. So what are the different contents of Spring MVC? We are going front end and back end. What is MVC? What is Spring MVC flow? What are the Spring components? And at last we will go through one sample program, right? So first, let's go what is front end and back end. So if you see the picture, it is clearly depicts three layers. One is user front end, one is web server backend, and database backend. So these user contents are nothing but it will have variety of UIs. So you can have laptop, you can have computer, you can have tablet, or you can have the mobile phones. These are the interfaces through which you can interact with the different web pages. Correct? And whenever, like as I said, whenever in the UI you are going to open any of the page, first it will send some request to the backend server. So it is not necessarily the backend server is present in your mobile device. Your mobile device acts as a UI, user interface, and this server is located somewhere else. And your request is processed here, and the backend server also need to get and store data from the database. As it will manipulate the data, it will process the data and send response back to your respective devices. So these are the three-tier architectures. So this front end, so this developer who is capable of using this, capable of developing this page, these are known as UI developer or front-end developer. They can use variety of languages like HTML, CSS, Angular, React, right? And the backend logic is written in variety of like backend language like PHP, C++, Python, Java, and database is MySQL, MongoDB, no backend. Okay. So yeah, this is little bit different definition. Like front end and back end are two critical aspects of any application. The front end is what your users see and include visual elements like buttons, checkbox, graphics, and text messages. It allows users to interact with your applications. The backend is the data and infrastructure that make your application work. Okay, very simple. Then it will depicts like how the user, like how the user interaction for the internet page will work. Let's say you enter google.com in the browser. So the browser first need to know the address of Google where the page is actually located. So whenever you type google.com, the browser just go and check in the DNS server. Like say in your mobile, you have a name directory and you are finding the names, you are finding search with phone numbers and you are getting the names. Similarly, when the user types google.com, the Google or the browser will send the name to the DNS server to check what is the address of that page. Now from that DNS server, it will locate, okay, the google.com is mapped to this IP address. Now it will get that IP address and send the request to that particular IP address. Okay? Through HTTPS protocol. So we have different protocols are there, HTTP and HTTPS. So HTTPS is the secure protocol, right? And if you have already visited the Google page, then it will not directly, you are not getting any response from the Google server, but it will directly get from cache. So cache is basically a temporary memory where your location of that page is being stored. Then the web server processes the request. So in the next step, once the request is sent to the web server, so from that web server, it will just pass your request, it will parse your request and it will process your request and send back to the UI, right? So first, it will locate the IP address by searching DNS name server. Once it will get the IP address, then it will send the request. The request is processed in the web server. Once after the processing of the web server, the response is sent back to the client. So all web applications run and client and service. As I said, all these applications are run in front-end side as well as back-end side. So front-end side you use HTML, React, Angular, CSS, and the back-end we are using Java, Spring Boot, Spring or C, Python, .NET, right? Okay, so this is the MVC architecture. Now coming to MVC architecture. So MVC architecture is built on top of MVC. So model view controller. Okay, this is actually an architectural pattern that separate your application from actual business logic. So your application is segregated from business logic and presentation logic. This presentation logic and business logic, these are segregated with each other. Okay, so MVC is one of the most frequently used industry standard web development framework to create scalable and extensible projects, right? So MVC is a very popular web development framework that is used to develop like large enterprise web application. So we have three entities: model, view, and controller. So model, what is model? So model is nothing but it will hold the data which is processed by the server and which is like used by the user. Let's say you are like filling one like registration form from one side. So these forms data, it is collected from the forms data and stored in a model. So model is a object where the backend server will manipulate the model or use the data from the model. So what is view? The view component will use for UI logic. So it is actually to showcase the data in front of UI. So how you need to see the data, that is the view. The controller actually process the request. It will process the request. It will, if you need, it will like interact with the backend database. It will process the data from the model and again send back to the UI. So this is our model, view, and controller. So how we control flow is string MVC. Okay. So we have like request handling, a dispatcher servlet, controller, view resolver, and rendering the view. If you see in the image, this is the control flow of string MVC application. So we have the center dispatcher servlet, we have handler mapping, we have controller, we have view resolver, we have view, then it is the response. Okay. Now request handling. Now whenever a user send request, Okay, friends. So here we are coming back with our how the flow of Spring MVC application works. What are the different components involved and what are the rules responsibility of each component. So as you can see this diagram. So this picture depicts that one user will send the request to the server. And here the request is being captured by dispatcher software. Okay. This is the core theme of Spring in this application. It is also known as the front controller. Okay. Now this dispatcher software again interacts with our request handler. Request handler is nothing but it is a kind of DNS server. So when you type any address in the browser, it will first go and check what is the exact address and location of that page. And once it finds the location of the page, it will send routes the request to that page. Similarly, the dispatcher servlet just look up in request handler and get the address of the controller. Now, once you get the address of the controller, it will delegate the request to different controller. So controller at approval it got a mechanism to handle the request. It will capture the request, it will take the elements from the request, it can send those requests to the service layer. When the service layer process the request, send it back to controller, then controller send back to dispatcher servlet with model and view. So it will return model and view object. Okay. Now again the dispatcher servlet lookups or it will interact with view template, view resolver. This is our view resolver template. And it will send the request along with the model to get what is the exact location of the view page. Is it like HTML or JSP? What is the exact location and name of the view page? Now once we get that, it will respond back to dispatcher servlet. Now once the view is generated, view is rendered, the dispatcher servlet will respond back to the user and user will get the response. So this process, this interaction, this flow will take in some fraction of second. Okay, so fraction of second your request will be processed and you will get the response. So this is like different components like request handling, dispatcher servlet, which is also known as a front controller, then model, then view resolver, then rendering the view. Okay, so here a user send a request to the server, the Spring MVC dispatcher server intercept the request. Intercept means it will accept the request. Now the front controller or dispatcher servlet. Okay, the dispatcher servlet is responsible for routing the request to appropriate controller. So different URLs mappings are there. So based on that URL mapping, the different controllers are defined. So the dispatcher servlet know to whom I need to send the request. So from this n number of controller, it will find the appropriate controller where it got to know that my request is processed, right? And again, if the controller returns a model in view object. So model means it will contains the data, okay? And view means it will contains the name of the UI page, okay? And view resolver. So view resolver maps the logical view name to the actual view name. So it got the logical view name and it will find the actual view name, what is defined in view resolver class. Then rendering the view. The view is rendered with model data, generating an HTML. Correct? Now next is how we need to steps to create Spring applications. So these are the different steps to create the Spring application. Okay. Again, I am describing. So once user send the request, it is being captured in dispatcher servlet. Dispatcher servlet interacts with handler mapping to get the controller. Now once the dispatcher servlet get the controller, it will send route the request to appropriate controller. Now the controller will process the request and return model and view. Okay. Now dispatcher sublet got the model and view. Now we don't know what is the actual location of the page. To know the actual location of the page, it will refer to view resolver, and view resolver will get you the actual JSP or STL page. Now it will return in the page location to the dispatcher subnet. Now dispatcher subnet will find the location and it will render the view. Okay. Now the stage to create MDC web application is first we need to define as dispatcher servlet in web.xml. Okay. If I open QCL, so first we need to define a dispatcher servlet in web.xml. Then, then here I have taken sample in applications. So here you can see we have looked at it. And here in the way we have and here in the app config, we need to make some components done. Okay? Then component standards, it will have all the classes inside these tokens. So this token is here, then it will just pass all the package of the classes which is present inside this token. Okay? Now this is the key reservoir. As I said, the different one result per object. Okay? So it will have the location of the real page with expression. Okay? Now from here I will get to know that there are many pages. So here you can see it is in view, view, and below one trace view. The dot JSP is this is the software, this is the extension. So my extension is dot JSP. Okay? Now this is the dispatcher subnet initializer. It is initialize your dispatcher subnet. Okay? So this syntax you just get to know that no need to go in detail. Okay? So you understood that this is for dispatcher subnet initializer. Now in the particular layer, this is a request nothing. Request nothing is nothing, and this is one kind of URL file. Okay? And this model, as we discussed, model will contain will host the data. Okay? Now I create one hello world object. So this is my hello world. This is a Pojo object with message and date and time field. Okay? Now this is a simple object. When I will set the message, set date and time, then what we need to do? We need to add this attribute. Okay? We need to add this object into the model. So model add attribute hello world, hello world. So that means I will add this hello world object in model with reference hello world. So hello world is nothing but this is the reference to hello world, and it will return hello world. So this is hello world is our string. Okay. Now it will exactly match what is the name of view. So it will go to app config and check, okay, my view location is web island views. Now I will see web island views. Then again it will check what is the name. Name is hello world. Then it will check if the page that names hello world.jsp is there or not. Yeah, it will find the hello world.jsp. Then it will render this page. Whatever message is there, it will render this page. Okay. Now I will run this application, this form XML. So this form XML is nothing but it will contain all the jar description. Whatever jars we need to run this application, it will contain all this library and jars. Okay. Now let's say I run this. First I need to clean this. Okay. So, yeah. So, first, let us understand what is the form estimate. So, unlike this is a vehicle, unlike and, we have form, we have grammar. So, these are different vehicles which will help you to build your project, which will help you to compile your applications, and it will generate the jar file. Here, my categories one is it will compile my whole project and it will generate the work file. This is a deployment time. It's a deployment time. Okay. Now, let me first one will run this one. Maven means it will delete all the classes at the target folder. Now let's say I run as Maven instance. So it will generate me the work file. Okay. Yeah, it is success. That means the work file is generated. It is under target folder. Okay. Now I need to right click on this, and before that we need to install Tomcat. Okay. So we need to download Tomcat. After 9-10 whatever. So go here and download this. Okay, which is. Now once you download, you will take the folder like this. Okay. Okay. And so you can see I have downloaded this version after the contact line for 50. Okay, it got some focus structures like this, rotas, logs, one, on tag library builds. The library will contain all the chapters that will help you run the contact. Web address, whatever like web application, you need to copy and paste here. Let me delete this so that you will get to know this. Okay. Now, I need to copy this web file and paste it in complex web folder. Okay, let me paste it. Then what I need to do, I need to rename this as the journal. Okay. Now after that, I will go to this build folder. So this build folder means it will contain all this runtime environment. Okay. Now, when the file start up the double click on that, it will start the server. Okay. Now you can see that it deploying your web application. Your server is started. I'll go to this browser and click on this. Yeah, you can see this is hello world. So how hello world? Now if you see here, my campus is still there and hello world is defined here. It is the index. So the default page is index.php. Okay? This is the default page. Okay? Now I need to render hello world. So first go to controller. Okay? Go to controller. This is from mapping. If I copy and paste it here, and the hello one this is server vector. How it will execute? Now once you enter this hello one, okay, go in the dispatcher server, will capture this request and it will find this, it will send this URL to the request handler. Okay. And after that it will find, okay, this hello one is mapped in here. So it will find this hello one controller. And from the hello one controller, it will create the object hello one. Okay. And it will set the message, set date and time, and then it will add model to add attribute hello one. So once you render the views render, you can how you need to get these attribute values. You need to get this attribute hello world. So in the JSP you can say hello world. So this is nothing but this hello world is exactly matching to this one. Okay. Then hello world dot message. Dot message means this message. Okay, this message. Okay. When hello world dot time means this time. At our time we have set here. Okay? This is hello world dot depend time. So hello world is whatever this is the reference variable. What is the set in model? Okay. And let me create another method. Okay. Yes. Okay. Let me change to okay. Now I will change the name again. Yes. And also I change the choice because I will not okay. I will change the choice to the other. Okay. Then I will create similar to other page here. Speed. Again, I will do some copy paste here. Yeah. Okay. So this is hello world. That is the image here. We need to check here. So then let me check this one. Hello world one. So in here I will do so just to check that this is exactly same with that whatever we are setting there. Okay. Then we build it. Okay. Let me first do the cleaning so that it will clean the node classes. Okay. Then I need to build it, run, install. Let's access now. You can see the jar is generated now. Copy this one and paste this one. Okay, let's take this long name. Okay. After you see it is kind of problem is getting generated because once this is generated this one, your application is deployed. Okay. Now control C. Now here put this building is very here. Okay. You can see this here. Okay. And the container, okay, the test. You can see it is something that okay. Thanks a lot, guys. I will see you in the next session. Bye.